My life-changing experience was attending a family reunion about 8 years ago, and I saw my mother comes from a large family. All the women had jowls, and I'm going, oh my God, it's in my genes. I'm going to look like that. And as I made up my mind 8 years ago, as soon as that started, I was going to start doing research and find someone that would get rid of those jowls for me, do a beautiful job. And I did my research, went online, came in for an interview, loved Dr. Mendelsohn's personality, the way he related to me, the way he made me feel so at ease. And it was a one-on-one. He looked right in my eyes and asked me what was important to me. I immediately told him about the jowls, and he says, okay, this is what I can do to help you look the way you wish to look. So it was perfect. I took his book home he gave me. I did a follow-up appointment, and then I scheduled the surgery, and it's the best thing I've ever done. He got completely rid of my jowls. I work with brides a lot, and on the weekend, during the week. I work at an investment firm where I'm also the liaison with the clients, and I just have so much more confidence knowing that I have a great profile, and it just makes me feel better about myself. For myself, yes, I did some research online, but I'm a one-on-one person, so it actually took me a couple of months. I did interview with a couple of other surgeons. There was no click there. I just didn't feel like they had all the expertise that Dr. Mendelsohn has. So it actually took me a couple months to come to my decision. You walk in, they're expecting you. You walk into this beautiful office. There's a fish tank, and everything is very laid back, beautifully decorated. The receptionist greets you immediately. She's smiling. She knows your name. They offer you coffee, and you're seated, and you just sit there, and you're very comfortable, and you're very excited. I mean, walking in the door makes you more excited. Yes, I have made the right decision. This is where I want to be. Okay, I met with Dr. Mendelsohn, and he sits and he talks to us, and my husband was in on the interview as well, and he just made it feel like from the moment he walked in, he shook both our hands, introduced himself, and then he sits down real close and he's studying your face, and he immediately asked me what is important to me, what do I want to improve, and then he starts talking about the possible surgery and what I would be going through. At that point, I'm meeting Vanessa, who is wonderful, and she's one of the nurses, the co-op nurses, and she's been there with me every step of the way. She took me back and showed me the surgical area, and but the day of the surgery, she stayed right there with me. She's the first person, well, she was actually the second person. You're greeted immediately, and that's very important. You're put at ease. You might be a little anxious walking in the door the day of your surgery, but once you get in here, it's all gone. No, I am a talker, so I shared it with the girls at the gym. I work out at the gym, and the girls who lived in the same area that I do, a couple of them have had a few procedures done, and they knew what my goal was, and they encouraged me to do it. And but yes, I shared, and they were anxious to see they saw the before, and they were so anxious to see the after, and they were so impressed, so impressed. Oh, he said Dr. Mendelsohn was a perfect match. Perfect. He says he's everything we're looking for. Very knowledgeable. We love it that he's double board certified. That was very important to us. He gave us his book. We went home and read it. We each took time to read it, and then we went back online and did a little more research and read up again. And this was perfect. It was a perfect match. Oh, I love to work out. My sister and I ran our first marathon this year, which was an awesome event for both of us. She's a little older than I am, but we did it together, and we finished at separate times, but we both got medals, so that was pretty awesome for our first time out. Being fit and being active and taking care of yourself, we can control that, so that's what I wanted to do. And I think just being more confident and staying in shape and having the energy to do our jobs and to do we have an old home, and we love to take care of that, so that's a challenge as well. But just being fit is very important. Feeling good about yourself, and then looking as young as you feel, is very important. I mean, you get to the point where there's so much we can do. We can jog, we can lift weights, and force yourself to go to the gym on days when you really don't want to go, but then the DNA or your hereditary factors kick in, and that's why you go to Dr. Mendelsohn. Yes. Okay. I had the advanced lift done, and I don't even, may I show you? Sure. I don't even have any scars. Okay, what he did was he came in like this, took all this, I had the jowls down like this, and I had surgery, he just did this, and I had sutures inside, and I had incisions from here to here, and I was back to work, and I took 5 days off, and I was back to work on the 6th day, and because of the way I wear my hair, you couldn't see it. Could not see it. Recovery was wonderful. It wasn't that bad at all. Well, I didn't come right out and tell them that I'd had an advanced lift done. They just said, "You look forever young." I thought, yes, that's what I like. I like the forever young part. And I also had a reunion with some prior workmates. We'd all gotten downsized from our previous company. And so like 10 years later, we all got together and they said, "Wow, you look better than you did before." And I said, "Yeah, I do." The day of the surgery, we had stayed all night because we're from out of town, so we'd gotten a hotel room. And Dr. Mendelsohn called the hotel room that night to check on me. I was asleep, of course, because they give you the medicines and you're very sleepy, so I slept. But you do walk out of here. I mean, you come in, and the one thing that I really loved was, if anyone has ever had surgery before at a hospital, it's very impersonal. You are like in a cattle call, you're lined up, and it's just you that day. And it's just that you, when you're leaving, they walk you out. My husband was there with me. We went to the hotel room. I slept. He talked to Dr. Mendelsohn. The next day, I come in. They removed the bandages, the wrap, and we drove home. I took it easy for 3 days. I took a walk. The day after, I was up. I took a walk in the park. My husband walked the dog, and then I was walking beside them. The next day, we continued to walk, and I put makeup on and went shopping.
That's awesome. That's great.
The future, today I feel great. I know that when I'm dealing with clients, I know that I look good. I know that I don't have the jowls down. I look younger because of the procedure, and I feel as young as I look. You know, I'm very energetic. I love to go out and have a good time, but as far as the future, if I need a little tweak in the future, hey, I know Dr. M.
That's great.
Oh, I'm so glad that I did not let the jowls progress. I wanted to get them out of the way, because even now when I see my aunts, it's just like, oh wow, what a difference. What a difference. Well, yeah, there are several pictures I would just not rather even have because of that. It's just, to me, it was the first thing that I saw when I looked at a picture, was I was immediately drawn to the jowl area. And it's just, it's so much prettier to have a clean jawline and not have the saggy skin underneath. It's just something I always planned on doing. I'm so glad that I did it. I work with brides. I'm a bridal consultant with my husband's photography business, and going in with the brides, everybody at a wedding is looking their top best that day. I mean, their hair is done, their makeup is done, and everybody's so excited. I feel so privileged to be a part of that, because you walk in and every time, I've done it for 16 years, but every time you walk in, I get a little rush of goosebumps because that dress is just stunning. That bride, she may already be a mother, this may be her second wedding, but for this day, this is her moment in the sun. And I feel so special to be a part of that. And I'm always in the face, I'm always correcting the necklaces. I'm the little coordinator, so I'm doing the necklaces and the hair and the adjustment. And even with the gentlemen, I do the boutonnieres, but with the brides and working with those young girls, I was just feeling like I couldn't wait to get my jowls, to get my facelift done, the advanced lift, because, you know, I just felt like, wow, they are so much younger than I am, and I just want to be, I don't want to have that extra skin, because I'm right there in their face every weekend. And I just feel so much better knowing that when they're looking at me from the side, or I'm looking down, or from this side, or whatever, I have a perfect profile. And that gives me a lot of confidence to keep smiling and to keep them smiling and keep them comfortable. I think the more that we are comfortable with ourselves, that transposes to the bride. And I've been told that I have a very calming effect, and that's because I feel very secure in my appearance and what I have to offer them. Yes, so you have a client coming in the door who has a major portfolio, and the market is down a little bit. You've got some ruffles, flat feathers to kind of calm and soothe right then. And if you do that and you're smiling and you're going in there knowing, hey, okay, I can do this, and it gets done, and you transpose your calmness to them, 90% of the time it will work. It will work. And having confidence in yourself and coming to Dr. Mendelsohn to get that extra little edge that you want to maintaining as you go on in life is so important, so important. I just think everybody owes it to themselves who's out there looking, searching the internet. Do your one-on-one with the doctors, and always come to Dr. Mendelsohn for the best service, the best personality, but mainly the best skill. Because as you can see, I have no jowls, and I won't. I won't.